Hi guys, hope you're well. So here I am outside O'Neill's in Leytonstone, and they've got an event tonight about the miscarriage of justice of Jason Moore. So there's going to be quite a few names attending this. Bobby Cummines is going to be here, Linda Calvi is going to be here, Sean Atwood's going to be here. So a lot of people, so it's going to be an interesting night, and I'm going to interview a few people and film some speeches. See you soon. Yeah, so you're here tonight to support Jason?
That's correct.
Yeah, so why is this important to you?
Well, the thing is, you've got a man in there who's not guilty of murder, so you've got a real murderer who's still walking about the streets who could possibly do it again. So the worst thing is, in this case, they withheld evidence from a judge. Now that should be a judicial review, because that judge would have made different summings up. It would have been the jury, it was kept away from the jury as well. It could have been a different verdict if they'd been told the whole truth. But evidence was held back. And you've got the CPS saying, well, we don't think it's relevant. I don't think they've got the power to do that. It should be a judge who decides whether evidence is accessible or not accessible. And in Jason's case, I think it deserves a judicial review, because you need learned judges to look at that evidence, and that's been withheld. And in fact, that's quite an offence in itself towards the judge.
Yes, absolutely. And do you know the family well?
I know the family from sort of way back, because they've been writing to me and telling me what's going on. Yes. But really, I'm really looking at the justice of this case, because I used to run a charity. National. I've got 8 million followers on Facebook and all that, and I do the crime series on here. And I've dealt with some of the best, crime in the country. And this stinks of miscarriage of justice, basically.
You've done so much work for prisoners, haven't you?
Yes, I've got an OBE for it.
That's right, you were awarded that, which is
I was awarded the OBE, yeah.
What would it be like for someone who is innocent to be in prison?
Look, when you're in prison, it's bad enough being in prison and doing a sentence for what you've done. Yes. But you've got to think that the Guildford 4, the Birmingham 6, right, that was away 25 years. They're personal friends of mine, and that was a miscarriage of justice. Yes. But they still served 25 years, destroyed their families, destroyed everything, and they're innocent men. It must never happen again that an innocent man goes through jail for a crime he did not commit. That is the worst type of sentence. You're burying someone alive in a concrete tomb who's innocent. That is a crime against humanity, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and of course, when they get out, not only have they lost all those years, but trying to get their life back after they come out.
That's the hardest thing in the world, because you get these. I call them daily malicious readers, daily mail readers, say, well, there's no smoke without fire. Well, say that to the Birmingham 6 and the Guildford 4, talk about that, talk about Craig and Bentley, they own a man, an innocent man, for a crime he didn't commit. So when we look at miscarriage of justice, they cannot happen, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why I've got my OBE, because I push for justice, and I push for my people, the ones that are in there, and especially the ones who are in there and ain't done it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for all your good work over the years.
Thank you. Now, being banged up for a crime you've committed, right, you take that, it's not easy, especially maximum security. I speak from experience, it's not easy, right? But at least you know you've done the crime, so you live with it. You eat the meal, you pick up the bill. But the worst crime you've never had is an innocent man in prison. Because that is a crime against humanity, not against justice, right? That's a crime against humanity. You're locking up an innocent man in a concrete tomb for 9 years. I've done bad things in my life. I've never tortured anyone that way. That's the sort of thing I'd expect from the Waffen SS and the Gestapo. It don't happen in Britain. We're supposed to be a law-abiding country where will would do that proper justice. Now, if we look at this here, you've got two families. It's very rare that you see a victim's family come to support a man who's in jail for killing their son. Yes. But the reason they're here is because they know that man's innocent, and they want the real killer brought to justice. But in this day and age, and I've seen it people in prison who've done sentences for 25 years. I'm talking about the Guildford 4 and the Birmingham 6 done 25 years for crimes they didn't commit because evidence was withheld. This is not going to happen here, it's not going to happen now, because we're going to fight for it. Because we're going to get that young man justice, and we're going to give Robert's family closure. Because until the real killer's in jail, they ain't got closure. They are all doing the sentences together. right? It's not just the man in prison, it's the families that are in prison with them mentally. They don't deserve it. And so now we're going to fight. And so what I say this to you now, you're there, you're here, you're there because you care. Because someone's got to care, because it happens too many times that innocent people, and what are you going to say to that man? How are you going to give him? Give him compensation. You can't give him back the 9 years of his life that you have robbed him of through being lazy, inadequate, or basically malicious to withhold evidence. I've seen atrocities happen in prison. Men go in prison, they're so strong in the maximum security prison, people hang themselves. I hear some people say prison's like an holiday camp. Well, I don't know what holiday camps they go to, but prison's obviously never slashing their wrists, hanging themselves, and when they've got a dear John off their girlfriend, they cracked up with mental health. You imagine, you tonight are all out having a drink, you're all out there supporting people. There's an innocent man here who should be out tonight, having a drink and a good time with you. But tonight he's laying in the cell next to his toilet, banged up, dreaming of his freedom. And there's someone out tonight who's killed someone and having a jolly up somewhere else. This cannot be justice, this cannot be fair. And what I'm saying is, all evidence should be given to a judge. This case should have a judicial review and the truth come out. And that's what we do. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't, if one innocent man is in jail, or one innocent woman is in jail, shame on us for allowing it to happen. Alright, shame on us for that. If we don't stand up now, this will happen to again and again and again, like it's happened before. There was a case called Craig and Bentley. A man was hung for a crime he didn't commit. You know, are we that barbaric that we're going to let these things happen? I don't think so. You hear this from tonight, it's gone quiet. Quiet because we're searching in our souls thinking, tonight, close your eyes and you're sitting next to your toilet. It don't smell like Chanel, right? And you've got bars up your windows and all you're dreaming about is your family. Is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? It's mental torture. And mental torture is a crime against humanity. I want you to stand back, think about that, and I want you to support this campaign, because I tell you something, I'm supporting it. Thank you ever so much.